Cup holders suck. Tractor's definitely a little more bouncy with the... definitely a little more bouncy without the duals on. Forgot my sunglasses, doing a lot of squinting. I can carry that. We're fixing stuff, we're getting stuff ready to go. That's some ice cold water. That's some ice cold water. What's going on, everybody? We're getting stuff ready to plant apples on Monday. Getting our plant tractor driven out. Sun's out. Praise the Lord, brother. What's going on? We're getting ready to plant apples, preparing, getting the tractors ready to rock. That's what we're doing here today. We're in transit with our planting tractor, taking it out to the field, and we're going to hook it up to the plant, to the double row planter, and we'll give it a test run. Well, we got to get out there first. Broseph, hey man. What you operating? That's got to get muted, that's for sure. Hold on, we got to turn that down. Put that on standby. We're driving our planting tractors, a K7220. Our brothers, can I have a shout out? What's going on? Mbappe, hello. My name's Ricky. Ricky, hello, welcome. Welcome to the Palms and Stones channel. Let's see, Broseph's question. What are you operating? This is a Case 7220 tractor. When we're not on the road, I'll point the tractor at some stuff so you can kind of see what we're actually doing here. Apples, yes. We're going to plant two different varieties of apples. We're going to plant a Gala and a Honeycrisp apple on Monday. We're at, this is Michigan, United States, Michigan. I do read all comments. Am I a farmer? Yes. Yes, we farm apples and cherries in Michigan. Apples and cherries. No corn, no beans, no row crop, just fruit. Honeycrisp apples are the best. Good morning, farmer guy, says Nico. Honeycrisp apples are the best. They're quite delicious. This will be our third variety of Honeycrisp, second variety of Honeycrisp, I believe. So we got some acres of them. Do you own apple gardens? Yes, we have our own apple farms, orchards as we call them here. Orchards. We have 2,400 acres of apples, and we're going to have about 150 acres of apples when we're done growing apples. Do you have corn? We do not have any corn, Connor. We only do fruit, unfortunately. only do fruit here. We do not do any row crop. No corn, no beans, no sunflowers, nothing. Just cherries and apples. We take care of millions of trees. What's your good name? I think maybe you meant to say farm. Our farm name is Cherry Key Inc. What do you sell the most of? We sell all of our own cherries. We sell dry cherries, chocolate covered cherries, cherry concentrate, cherry juice, yogurt covered cherries, milk chocolate, dark chocolate. The best seller is probably the juice. And live happily ever after. That's funny. It's a nice little play on words there. I like that. Yes, recently by any given year we can harvest from any amount of 15 to 16 million pounds, all the way up to about 24 million pounds of cherries in a year. That's a lot of cherries. Apples we're just getting into. Do you have a job for me cutting apples in your garden? We only prune apples every once in a couple of years, so probably not. Not a consistent job for us. We ghost riding the whip today, says Nate. Nate, were you at the Lions game with the boys? I feel like you got to go to the Texans game now to keep up the vibe. We might be ghost riding the whip today. You never know. It's possible. We do have to see if the apple planter's going to be lined up right, so we might fire that bad boy up. GPS is off now. Sure was. No Lions. Wow, what a game. What a game. Do you think we're gonna beat the Texans? Nico Collins is coming back. What is the time here? It is 12:31. 12:31 in the afternoon, just after lunch. Hands-free tractor driving now. Already looking at Super Bowl tickets. Where's it at? It's in New Orleans, isn't it? New Orleans? How much are those running? How much are those running? $7K, and that's for a nosebleed or what? That's at the 50-yard line, right down at the field? It's not a bad deal, not a bad deal. Do you have an Instagram or a Facebook, sir? Please share. I do not have any that are associated to the YouTube channel. That's all off of my own name. As well as TikTok. But you can click on the name at the bottom and you can see all the other videos that we put out. We put out one long video a week. Usually it goes out on Sundays. And we do shorts and lives about daily. I probably should have an Instagram or a dedicated TikTok and Facebook page for this now at this point. We got some great stuff coming down the pipeline for everybody. We got been working closely with some guys from John Deere for some stuff coming up. So I don't have a WhatsApp app. Make sure we have a safe move here. Yes, we're going to have a cool thing going on with John Deere in a couple weeks here. By the end of the month, we should have some sort of collaboration with John Deere, so that's pretty exciting. Some cool stuff coming down the pipeline here. Some great sponsorship opportunities. Great stuff. Nice talking to you, sir. God bless. Nice talking to you, too. Come back anytime. All are welcome. All are welcome. All are welcome. cold out, but when you're in a glass box, it gets hot, then you turn the AC on, then you gotta take it right back off because it's just too hot. Half the time when I'm live streaming, I start looking for my phone, and I realize, hey, I'm talking to it. $7K for a Super Bowl ticket. That's crazy. How's the glass box? Eddie, what's going on, buddy? My first investor wanted to sell 99% of the YouTube channel for 10 grand. That's crazy. Should have taken advantage of it. Should have taken advantage. How was the Lions game? Will you send your apples to India? No, probably not. We're trying to sell here. Jesus Christ. I can't be reading that on here. That's too funny. That's too funny. What a day, what a day. Sun's shining. We will not be sending apples to India. Try and keep all of our product here in the United States. All of our apples are sold right here in the town we live in. We have a big apple buyer in Oak Rapids, Traverse City area. So we're just now a couple minutes away from the farm here. Can you drive with toes, please? Asking for a friend. I will not be taking my boots off at work. You're on the wrong app. Maybe for 10K I'll do it. What's the cost of an apple here? It depends on how many pounds, my friend. And how many pounds you buy in a bag. It depends on what variety of apple. Some command a little more dollar per pound, and some are less. You can get Honeycrisp apples at Meijer for 99 cents a pound right now, which is cheap and probably because they're going out of season. Would be a beautiful fall day here in Michigan. All the leaves have finally blown down. Just hanging out. I love it when you're on the road and people don't want to pass you when you're driving a tractor. Then they get mad at you because you clog up the road. Well, that's not my fault. Not my fault. Great views of the lake. Nate Lee, where can I find your dried cherries, brother? Anywhere in the south? I believe so. I believe it's, what is it? 43 states we sell our cherries in. You can go to shorelinefruit.com and there should be a store locator. You can type in your zip code and it should tell you your closest store that our product is available in. That's how I believe it works. I know they're at Publix, any Publix store, Kroger's. What are your main stores there in the south? A lot of traffic today on the back roads. Good stuff. Look it up. Let me know. Let me know what where you find it. Let me know where you find it. Kroger's. That's a done deal. Then yes, Kroger actually also has a specific concentrate that nobody else has. Kroger's the only buyer of it. They buy the only non-pasteurized concentrate, which means that they have the only concentrate that has to be refrigerated. They call it cold fill. We only make it for Kroger. It's really good in cocktails. Fill up your cup, a lot of ice in the cocktail. Jesus Christ. A lot of ice. You fill that baby half up with vodka, top it off with some little bit of soda water, and you sprinkle in some cold fill concentrate from yours truly. That shit'll have you putting side by sides of the ditch, my friend. Better watch out. That'll have you in county quick. That'll have you in county quick. You hate to see it. I need my sunglasses. I'm squinting out here. God man. Hell yes, chef's kiss. We're just about to pull into the farm here. Where's the little boy? What are you talking about? My son is at daycare, but I don't think I've ever shown him on here before. Doing a lot of squinting. A lot of squinting. Alright, we're pulling in. We're here. We got someone rototilling. We got a guy driving a razor around. We got everything. All kinds of shit happening. All kinds of shit. One of the best views, I think, on our whole farm. You can see Elk Lake, you can see East Bay, and you can see Lake Michigan over here. Great spot. It's our brand new barn. We got this tractor ready to go for planting apples on Monday, so that's exciting. We got another tractor we got to drive out, hook up to that. These are the strips we'll be planting. There'll be apples in those here Monday. Gotta get the GPS fired back up. There's old man Ricky. We call him Prison Ricky, only behind his back though. Went to jail for drugs. Juan, here comes Juan. He's rototilling a couple of the strips here. But now we've arrived at our destination. I can see if I can hook this thing up by myself. That'll be interesting. To make sure everything's just right. We got to get to that planter. Alright, we gotta get hooked up here, and then we'll turn the GPS back on and make sure that our lines are all set where we need to be. Test everything out. We gotta hook up, make sure we can get some spray through the planter for our injection. Then I think maybe we'll be good to go. Good to go. Of course, this is going to be a two-man job. Son of a gun. Maybe we can do it, maybe not. I think I got one in, but we're going to have to get out and find out. We're going to have to find out. Maybe I'll move this so that I don't have to carry my phone around. Holy shit. Ah, fucker. Ah, they're good. Oh, we have to wash the window after that. Really? the shit. These are our apple boxes. Hello, may I ask, is this a farming channel? Yes, it is. We farm apples and cherries here. CEO of man. We farm apples and cherries. So I got to get this hooked up right here down below. But you're not going to be able to hear me when I'm out there. Well, that's not gonna fly. What is all the pipes for? What pipes? I'm not sure I see any pipes, my friend. I wonder if I can try and spear it in. Just slide it in. That's not working like I thought it was gonna either. Can't catch a break here. For piping stuff, that's what she said. I thought I saw pipes. No, no pipes. We have a bunch of apple boxes here. This is driving me absolutely nuts. I just need someone else here to hold these arms in the right place. Unless I can go down below, force them up. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, this is. I thought I saw pipes. Not a great CEO, but CEOs should be observant. Oh my God, I think we have a solution. When is harvesting time? Harvest time for cherries. Let's see if my AirPod's connected here. Oh, Bluetooth off. No wonder why. Okay. When is harvest? Is there different equipment for apples as to cherry? Yes. There are plenty of different apple and cherry equipment options. But yes, most of them are different. We definitely use different size tractors, different sprayers, different types of equipment like that. We do high density apples, so all of the mowers have to be a different size. Cherry harvest is all of July, usually the beginning of probably usually all of July and all of July, 2 weeks of August on a normal year. Down and back a little bit. May I ask where this is? This is Michigan. Northern Michigan. In the United States. That's where we're at. That's where we're located. My friend works in a hospital in Washington. Washington is known for growing apples. Yes, they are. They're a big We'll try that. Hopefully that's the spot. Hopefully that's the ticket. We'll be set. I'll be tossing up a storm. One more time. This is crazy. My sister went to the University of Michigan. She told me it's a beautiful campus. How far away are we from Michigan? We are about 3.5 hours from Ann Arbor. Where we're at here. That is down the bottom of the sea. Got to do to it before we get going too much. Do I hunt or fish? I do a fishing trip about once a year. I do not hunt. That looks a little off to me, but we're gonna drive it anyway. This equipment that we're hooking up to is a 2-row planter. So you see that's one chair. There's another, and we're gonna plant apples here shortly on Monday. That's what we're getting ready for. We have a bunch of high density farm here. We're gonna be adding to it all right here. Good afternoon, Toby. Welcome. Welcome, welcome all. So we're gonna go over to the truck because we gotta hook that green hose up, and then we gotta test it and make sure it's gonna come out of the seats. I'll show you guys how that all works. And then we'll have to get the tractor set up so that the GPS lines here match what we're trying to do. Make sure that we're gonna be driving straight. But I don't think we need to listen to that. It's a lot of noise. Isn't it dangerous to leave the engine on? Yes, but I trust myself. So it's a 2-row planter. Here's a seat, here's another seat. The GPS inside catches a signal there, goes into the computer, and then it also flashes this light, so it'll tell us when we need to plant the tree. So we'll make sure everything's ready to go. These holes here are where the stuff from the tank is going to shoot out of, so we want to make sure that those are ready to go. What I should have done is put that down, which I think I'm going to do, because I can't reach what I'm trying to get to if I don't do that. It still seems too cold for how it looks outside, that's for sure. We'll set this down. Sounds very windy. Yes, it is very windy. I'll get that on the ground. We'll shut the tractor back off. I don't know if it's going through my AirPods or not. Can you guys hear me when I would leave the cab of the tractor? Was that a thing? Did you still hear me talking when I was further away from the phone? So now we gotta locate, if I can remember where half my stuff's at. It sounds windy. Very windy. Very windy. So this is our hose that goes up to our fertilizer tank in the front, runs back here. I hear the wind, but it's not drowning me out. That's good. So we gotta loosen up the pipe clamp here. Wonder if I can. There's no really good place to put the phone, I guess. I'm hoping the wind dies down. That would be preferred. It's not the best for recording. I do have a little bit more to record for this week's video that comes out on Sunday. For those of you who are subscribed, you'll get a notification. If you're not, you should consider doing that so you get notified when the videos go live. It's always a big help. Little time for a little plug there of my own stuff. So we got that in. That's good. What I need to do now is we need to connect these up to the tractor. That's what's gonna allow us to show the planters. There's a guy sitting on the planters when they're gonna plant the tree. So the tractor drives perfectly straight up and down these rows, and then it also plots out perpendicular. So when that happens, that red light flashes, and that's when the guy sitting here sees that light and he plants a tree. It's quite the little process, but we've done it for a couple years now, and it works out pretty nicely for us. You need a video man to help you. Yes, that would be nice. But I'm not gonna pay anybody to do that. So we'll put that away. Maybe. There we go. That's a bee forklift. We use that to move bees. So here's our tank in the front, mounted to the tractor. Who said pay? Yeah, who wants to come work for free? So we got that hooked up. That's gonna feed the juice to the back. We took the duals off today. To get that done, what do I want to do here? I have that turned on. What I need to do is make sure these are open so that it passes our water that we have here in now in the tank out. We'll go fire the tractor up and turn the pump on and make sure that these holes are shooting out water. Mucho pincho viento vale, dice Nick. A lot of wind, mucho viento en Ferris, todo el tiempo. All right. So here's our pump button. We'll turn that. What is the seat for in the front? We're gonna inject some fertilizer in with the trees while we plant at the same time. So I'm going to show you how that works. Because we have fluid that goes from the tank, passes through a garden hose, and comes all the way to the back. So we'll flip the pump switch on. Hopefully it's working. Look at that. I don't know why that one's shooting up. That doesn't make much sense. But this is how it should look. Except it's bashing off these discs. So we know that's working correctly. This one is shooting out everywhere. Holy hell. God dang. Alright, so we know that's working. That's good news. So we'll turn the pump off. And what do I need to do now? I need to dig around here for the weather pack to hook up to the lights, which that didn't seem like that was going to be too much work because we already found it. So hold on a second. We'll get my phone set back up so we can see. I only see 2 seats in the back. Sorry, I see 2 seats in the back, 1 on each side. That is correct. This planter, we can plant apples 2 rows at a time. That's what we're going to be doing. These are set 12 feet apart, the 2 chairs, because that is the width of our rows. That's the width at which we're going to be planting. So you're not wrong when you say that you see 2 rows, because that's true. Feed these through here. So we got our 2 quick attaches. So this is what connects the lights to the GPS. What's going to fire off our signal when we need to have the lights flash. And I'll show you guys how that works here in a second. Do you need 3 people? Hector, hola my friend, welcome back. How are we doing today? Yes, you needed someone driving the tractor, and then we need multiple people. You need 2 dudes planting, and then we have about 14 other people involved in the planting process. So it can be a lot. A lot happens at one time here, but nothing we haven't done before. So we're used to it. We're ready to go. Try to get this rubber back in its place here. I don't know how that fell out. We might have to worry about that later. As long as we don't lose it. That wouldn't be good. 1 to drive, 2 to plant. That's right. That is correct. That won't turn off. Alright. So we're going to back up. We're going to get turned back around. I need to fix the GPS here up so we can get... We got to switch fields. So we'll go to location. We're going to go find the apples. We're going to hit OK. We're going to hit resume work this time. Total shifts 79. So what we're going to do is we're going to have to go line up with the old apple orchard here. And when we're going to line that up, and then we'll center the track on it, and that way we'll know we'll be right in the middle of the 2 strips here in front. So again, we're just trying to get everything set up for Monday. Can you use another one for this, or is this one enough? What do you mean by that? Can you use another one for this, or is this one enough? Oh, there's trees on the ground. I almost ran them over. What are those doing on the ground? We pulled them up, I think. We got to get those. Got those strips mowed. We're ready to go. Can you use another one for this, or is this enough? This is enough. All right, so what I need to do is we want to park the tractor kind of in the middle of the row. Because we want to be able to try and put the seats right in line with the trees that are here right now. That way we know that the planter is... That way we know that we're lined up. So we'll go take a peek. So this is our high density, part of our high density apple orchard. We have a bunch more that way, but we're starting out here right now. So what we're trying to do is see if this seat here is lined up with the trees, which it looks like I'm off, and this one is too far to the left. So that tells me that I need to scoot the tractor over to the right just a little bit. This thing needs a new seat, bad. I forget how many inches this thing said it was, but we'll check it one more time, see if we're set. We might have the tractor in the same exact spot. I can't believe how windy it is. This is BS. Wondering if one does the job or is it in the way? One is plenty. I still think we need to be shifted over a little bit more. I wish I had my tape measure. Make things easier. Interesting. I think we're going to be set up here now. It is going to be a lot of work, but it's a lot of work for about one day here. So. Okay, so we got her centered. That thing runs like a deer. It would, but it's not. We have John Deere steering wheel on a red tractor. So that's always an interesting look. It always catches some people off guard. What I need is my tape measure. Because that cannot be set right now. Stinky Bunny is back. Working at the beach. How long before you can harvest from this planting? This planting won't be ready for harvest for about 3 years before we get apples off these trees for the first time. The ones down at the far side, the end of the driveway, those are ready to go. We harvested those for the first time this year. That's how long. Apples are quicker than cherries. Cherries will take us more time. All right, so I think this is it. This is good. So we will see. The tractor's driving and the planter's doing its thing. That's a lot of movement. All right, so we got the mark down here. Let's break off the GPS. I wonder if I have I think I have my tape measure in the truck. So we will have to go check and make sure everything's lined up right. We'll turn that down. We don't need that running that much. So what we need to do is measure from these trees to the center of this, and then from the center of this to the center mark in here. And that way we'll know that we're going to be 12 feet off of the first row, and then make sure that we're set with our distance. And then we'll have the tractor will be ready to go. Stinky Bunny's back. So those are posts for the high density apples that we're gonna do. We'll put those in a little bit this fall. Those are all of our apple boxes, 280 of them. Then we have more bundles of post. Do you buy the trees or are you planting? If so, how much? We actually grow the trees ourselves. We buy roots from a nursery, and then we actually grow all of them, plant them, and do the whole thing ourselves. We can grow a tree. Let's go back here. We can grow a tree for about half the cost as it would be if we bought it from a nursery. So we grow all of our own cherry and apple trees ourselves. To save money, and we have the means to do it. And the experience. And the experience. That's the important part. Is that we're able to do it. You need water, roots, and then you need to know what variety of plant you want to go when we graft them over. So they start out as one plant, and then we turn them into a completely different plant. Beautiful day here in Michigan. It's just a little too windy for my liking, but just a little too windy. So what we're going to do is we're going to clip this to this high density wire, because that's about oh man, I don't know what more to ask for. Look at that. 12 foot right in the middle of the strip. It's almost like I know what I'm doing, which that can be a little bit scary. When stuff works out like that, that's usually, you know what, you're right, Nate. That is precision agriculture at its best. Precision ag at its finest. We know everything's set correctly. So we'll back up. We'll go over here to the side a little bit. in a row where we can go down, and maybe we'll do a little ghost riding the whip. I'll show you guys what the planter is going to do and how it works. We do have a bunch of pollinators here next to us. We're going to have to shovel those up on Monday morning before we get started. We'll pull those up so that we can plant apples right next to it. So we'll start out here in a row that we can turn the GPS on, and we can make sure that everything's set at the correct angles and the planter's kind of sitting flat. I'm beyond confused now. How can that be right there but not here? This is interesting. Can I ask what the bad side of this farming thing is? Like weather or insects? Yes, we can have some weather that will seriously... the weather will throw off... the weather, we can have some frost event. The frost will kill the buds. That's what the frost will do. Frost will murder... Frost will kill the buds when they have water in them. They'll freeze, and that'll kill your fruit. How can this be? This just is not making sense to me. How this line could be correct here, but not there. Probably because I was messing with the lines. I wonder if I could shift it back to where it started. I want no shifts. Oh, I know why it's... oh, I'm an idiot. I need to switch the track spacing to 12 feet, not 21 feet. No wonder why it's not working. No wonder. That's gonna change a lot of things. It's gonna change a lot of things, folks. I guess your precision ag is only as good as the guy driving, right? Only as good as the guy driving. That's funny. What kind of mistakes can a man make by doing this? Let's see, a lot of mistakes. We also have a lot of insects that eat the cherries, eat the bugs, and do stuff like that, which obviously we'd like to avoid. So that can happen. What kind of mistakes can a man make doing this? Well, first off, a mistake would have been that the apple row spacing is at 12 feet a row. So what I had it was 21 feet, which is what we mark our cherries out at. So when I was going to line up to the strips, everything was off, and I was confused why nothing was lining up right, and that's because the computer thinks that I'm looking for 21-foot spacing, not 12 foot. So obviously, as you can imagine, that's going to make a bit of a difference here. And that's why when I was shifting stuff around and I was confused why it wasn't working is because of that. So we're here, we're there. Probably closer on this side a little bit. Alright, so now we got the track centered. What spacing do you... Ohio Jeremy, welcome back. What spacing do you plant the trees? What are we doing here? This first variety, which is going to be a Buckeye Galas. We're doing these at 12 feet wide, 4 feet apart. Then we're going to be doing our... So 12 by 4, and then the Honeycrisp, we have a lot of them, so we're going to do 12 feet by 3 feet. Rootstock Nick 29. Nick 29, and then we have some M106 in our nursery to plant out here in 2026. gotta figure out now if this is gonna be lined up right. Nick 29, that works best for our loamy sand soil. That's what's best for us here. That's what works the best. So that's what we're rocking. And we didn't want trees that big, so we went with the Nick series. I still feel like this is trying to turn me something too much. It may work out. It may work out. We'll try it. What soil again? Loamy sand. Or sandy loam. Hello, Istanbul from Istanbul, Turkey. That is a long ways away, my friend. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Like I said, we're going to be planting multiple varieties here next week. Last year in October, we planted ambrosias and gala. All right, we'll get her lined up here. Just for Nate Lee, if he's still here, we'll ghost ride the whip. Make sure everything's right. We'll have to set the depth to make sure that the planter's sitting in the right spot. I want to make sure this is angled right, so that's going to piss me off if it's not right. See what happens when we get down to the other side. Do those ones do better than others? It all depends on your soil type and what type of tree you're trying to grow. We're trying to do a dwarfed tree, so we use smaller rootstock. If that makes sense to you. We have our trellis. Some of our trees we only want our trees to get to a certain height. So okay, we'll jump out. We'll see here. Ouch! That pinched my finger. All right. Oh my god, I bumped the mute button. So you guys didn't hear anything I said outside? That's unfortunate. You hate to see it. Hitting the mute button. That's not a good look. Not a good look. That's too bad. That's what I was trying to explain if you guys were watching the discs. So the front of the planter over here, down on the front, that obviously splits the dirt and opens up and down in the middle underneath the seat. You put the tree down and then the discs cover it back up. So on Monday we're going to have all kinds of guys here behind me. So now we'll see if the lights are working. We'll get the distance trip up. I do think I have it set for the wrong distance. Trip pattern, 15-foot spacing. No thank you. This is going to be 4 foot. So we're going to put that at 4. X that out. We'll start it. We'll see if it pops off. Okay. See that light flashing? That means it's working. So this light is going to flash every time we go 4 feet. When that light goes off, the guy planting will then put the tree in the ground right when he sees it. So that's how fast we're going to plant trees. Just like that. Zoop, boop, boop, boop. All the way up and down and back. The other side's not working though. So we're gonna have to see what's going on with that, but we'll do that on the way back. Let me show you guys what it's doing here. So this next trip, that's counting the feet. I planted 200 spring by hand. It sucked. No, no shit. We're about to plant about 15,000 of them in a day, so that's a little bit different. So you can see when this number gets to 4, then it sends the signal, and that's what's tripping that and sending that light to flash to the guys. And this is the count of how many times that's gone off. So that's going to tell us, if I turn it on at the right time, it'll tell us how many trees we'll need to do 1 row. So you can kind of gauge out how many rows we have. We have from here all the way to where those are. Can't plant trees doing it when you do this. No, unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to do a live stream from while we're planting cherries, because or planting the apples, because I'll have to keep an eye on what's going on behind me, because there's going to be, what do? We do a guy planting, then we do a guy handing them trees, and we usually have 5 guys after that stomping the trees in the ground. And then we also have 2 tractors and 2 trailers with 3 or 4 guys on them that bring the trees from our semi-trailer that we'll park over here at the far side out to the tractor. So this tractor will never stop moving. It'll just consistently go. So it's a big process. There's a lot of guys here, so I don't think I'll be able to, but we do have we're going to get some drone footage of it, and also I'll be making a long form video of it as well. So you'll be able to see that the following Sunday. So not this Sunday, but the next Sunday, the apple planting video will come out, which you'll only be notified if you're subscribed to the channel. So if you're looking forward to seeing our planting process, you should do that. And then come time for we're going to plant cherries in probably 2 weeks after that. And that's going to be more exciting. We're going to do 3 days of that, 80 acres. And we're going to do a little collaboration with John Deere. They're going to sponsor a video, which I'm just kind of announcing that for the first time on this live stream. So we have that to look forward to. Great opportunity to showcase some of their John Deere equipment on the channel, and also showing out and being a sponsor. So that's cool. I had to slow that down. That is just too quick, I think. All right, so we're here. We're going to get turned back around. We'll head back. While this thing's moving, I'll go out there and try and figure out how to keep try and figure out why that's not working. Maybe we got a bad connector. Maybe we got an out light. But we're going to have to get that figured out. So we'll stop that. Halfway down that row got us to 90 something trees. So the tractor's gonna get us lined back up slowly but surely. It seems to like to take its time when I turn it on and the tractor's not close to the line, but alright, so we'll turn that on. We're gonna have to go out here and see why. We'll go out and see why that light's not working. And I see why. This is either corroded or not plugged in. Hey, we got a winner. We got a winner. So that's going off every 4 feet. We'll come back out here, I can re-explain what I was talking about. So the front, obviously on these two sides, is gonna split the ground open. This is gonna be deeper when we plant. But you can see we'll put the tree down in the middle and the discs will help roll the dirt back over the roots. And then we'll stack them in, or we'll stomp them in by hand, keeping the grafts above ground. And that's how the planter's set up. It's not too bad. We borrow this from our sister farm here. Is everybody working for you? All experienced? They're full-time people year-round. A majority of them are. We do have some people that come help prune, and they're going to help us with the planting this year because we need some more labor than usual. We do hire out people through the Department of Labor, through H2A Complete, for summer labor. But 200 trees in the spring by hand. That's just too many. I don't even like digging that many by hand. I don't even like shoveling. That's because I'm a lazy white boy. But so that's the distance trip. We'll use this to make these lights fire off for the guys. As you can tell, we just kind of travel slow. Right now we're going at 0.8. It's probably about as fast as we're going to want to go. It's good to see the lights are working. Lights are on. There's a couple here in these rows that I'm not, they're next to the, so there's these 2 rows where the fresh dirt is worked up. There's 2 rows there that have pollinators, which we'll rip up, we'll dig them up, and then we'll plant them kind of periodically in with the rest of this place. Yeah, so that's pretty much the planting process. We just have to kind of get everything lined up. Looks like this tractor is going to be good to go here, so I can't believe that that's picking that up that fast. That's not how you do that. Oh, we got to go here. Let's do, we want to do this, the upper limits. Let's do the, slow her down just a touch. Slow her down just a touch. Of course, that's not. It's an old tractor, okay? Leave her alone. Don't want to bother you working. Don't want to screw you up. Nah. Not much you could screw up right now. I have everything ready to go. So Monday we should just be able to show up, fire the tractor up, and we'll just get planting. Should take us 10 or 11 hours to get all these trees in the ground, to go from where the posts are all the way over to that tree line pretty much. So we'll just continue to go down and back until we have all the cherries or all the apples planted. And then starts the process of putting the posts in, drilling the holes, then we run the wire through, then we have to secure the trees to the wires so that they don't blow over in the winter and break off. That's the part of the rootstock that we choose, is it keeps the tree smaller. So the trees need to be clipped up by fence in order to help them, because the root system does not grow big enough to support the tree on its own. like a freestanding, like a cherry tree or an older apple tree or like a maple tree, they have vast root systems to keep them strong. These root systems are smaller, and so we have to help the trees standing up. How long do you think it'll take? It'll take us about 10 to 13 hours. 10, 13 probably. I don't know. We might start at 7, and depending on how fast I can get the guys on the planters to go, we might be able to crush it pretty quick. Stomping the trees in takes the longest. So, how many trees? Oh, man. I think maybe, what did I say earlier? 12,000? 13? 14,000? Something like that. But as you can tell, well, you can't tell, I can see it here on the display, where I started that a couple trees back down there, and it's already at 110. So it's going to take almost 300 trees to go down and back here, about 150 trees a row. That's at 4 foot. When we get to the Honeycrisp, I'll change it to 3 foot, and then we'll use that many more trees. That'll probably be closer to 200 trees a row. But then I do them, we're planting 2 sides at one time, so that'll be up to, that's double that, yes, that's 400 trees a row. And that's a lot of trees, a lot of trees. But that all happens Monday. That all happens Monday. I'm gonna drop this down just to see where we're gonna end up and hope that it's still straight. The lights are still flashing, so that's good. That's good. That is solid. It does a lot of creaking and moaning. GPS doesn't think nobody's in here, but we sure are. Let a little raccoon feed around. That was 150, and I was a little bit short when I started, so that's not too bad. We should be pretty close. Should be pretty close. 150 a row. So now we'll get the tractor parked, and then we have to get one more tractor ready to come out here. We'll get that hooked up to the last trailer, and we have everything ready to go. So that's pretty exciting. Just asking why this isn't done before. Hey, I love the questions. Makes it easier to do some live streaming when I have some people that ask questions. I'm trying, the whole point of when I started this channel was to slightly inform people on if they're interested on knowing where their apples and cherries come from. That was the idea. Not to use too many fancy terms, just to straight up tell you what happens on a cherry farm. So I hope if that's what you're here for, that you learned that today. Just asking, why wasn't this done before? What do you mean, why wasn't this done before? Technology. Just asking why it wasn't done before. I don't understand. We have planted trees for 60 years, but we just now in the last couple of years have gotten GPS attached to the tractor. So that's why we do it the way we do it now. We got our tank here at the front. So that liquid there goes all the way down here, follows the tractor, then connects here at the back. We got our double seats. And we're ready to go. These are our posts. These are what we put the apples in, apple bins. 280, that's a ripper. We got more posts. We got a grass seeder, a fumigator. We got all kinds of junk out here. All kinds of junk. It's the first time our apple boxes are going to be stored outside. Usually we keep them inside in the bin or in one of our barns, but it's full up with harvesters right now, so I think we're just going to leave them out here. So, now that we have that all done, I guess I should check with my tailgate still. See, I would have taken off and would have lost my toolbox. All right, well, I guess that's probably going to be it for the live stream today. I got nothing else to really show. I got to go put a ball on another trailer. And once I do that, I'll drive that out here. I know somebody else drove. 46 minutes. So once we get the rest of the tractor set up, we'll be ready to rock. Maybe I'll take us on a little farm tour. Show you guys some of the trees here. These are the ambrosias. These are the ambrosia trees. Nope, gala, sorry. And then they switched to ambrosia here. So this has both sides of the driveway. They've grown quite a bit this year. When they started, they were down below the black line. That's a line of irrigation. You said you grow trees from start. I figured you got more land than trees. We do. We have lots of land. Lots of land. We have, what do we have? All 2,400 acres of trees. We have some nursery work. We have a nursery downstate. We have a small nursery up here with about 10,000 trees. On my channel on the long form, you can see it, you can find it. There's 3 videos. You probably lump them all together into one so that people can see what it is. But there's something eating up the grass. Maybe some skunks doing some scrubbing or shrubbing, looking for some grubbing. These are our Jonagos. These are the ones we harvested this year. As you can tell, they're a little bit bigger. Definitely a little bit bigger. They're at the top wire. We want them to get a little bit above it. We planted these in 2021. So just about 3 years we got and we harvested a lot of boxes off of them. So this is what an apple tree, this is what an apple orchard looks like in the off season. Still got leaves on them, big, good-looking leaves. We got to do a little bit of pruning, not too much. Some of the branches are just too big, so we got to cut those off. Other than that, it's been pretty solid. Don't you have to wait to grow more trees to replant? Yes. It's a multiple-year process. It's all about planning ahead of time. So the trees that we're going to be planting this fall have been in the nursery for 2-3 years already. 1 year as the roots, then we grow the roots, and then we attach and graft on the bud of the desired type of tree that we want to grow, the variety of apple or cherry we'd like to grow. And then we grow them for another year, sometimes 2, and then we move them up here, dig them up, and replant them in the orchard where they're going to stay for the rest of their life. We just ordered rootstock for of farms that we're going to plant in 3 years. So, as you can tell, requires a lot of planning ahead and a lot of labor to keep trees growing and keep them in good condition. We got to keep weeds out, got to keep the deer off them. And then we plant them. When do you think this farm will be at full capacity? Well, we're planting this year, so what's 3 years from now? It's 2024, 2027, 2027, 2028. We'll probably be fully rocking here. So that's a lot of, we're probably looking at 4,000 or 5,000 boxes of apples. Probably, I would imagine, is this farm's probably the highest capacity. So everything that you see here, then the rest of this that we're planting is going to look like this in the springtime. We'll have to run the wires. We put the anchors in the ground. We'll have to add the irrigation. There's a valve right there. We control all those from our phone. So yeah, this is what we're going to be doing here on Monday. We'll be planting. Like I said, we'll have some drone footage. Hopefully that turns out nice. And we're going to plant, I think it's like 88 rows or something like that. We'll get all those trees in there, like at that distance width gap, 12 by 4 or 12 by 8. We got a shovel here. Left the shovel, not sure why. Must be marking something, but either way. So up here we have a K7 or a little John Deere. Why the 2 different fruits? Why not just one? We're doing 2 different varieties, and we're a majority tart cherries. So we have one John Deere 5525, and then we have a 4-wheel drive one in the back. Those are 2 of our smaller tractors we use, both around 100 horse. That's an old giant machine we used to run, but not anymore. New barn got put up. That's why the 2 different fruits. That's all we need to grow here. We are a massive producer of tart cherries, and we wanted to diversify a little bit, so we decided to dive into apples. We already have a majority of the equipment needed. We just needed to buy a couple new things and kind of just extend how long our labor's here for. And we can kind of get a second paycheck throughout the year with some apples instead of just depending on cherries to cover everything. Is there government regulations? Of course, there's always government regulation. Some years when everyone has a good cherry crop, we're required to put a certain percentage of cherries on the ground where we shake them either straight to the ground or we shake them into tanks, and then we dump them on the ground as a part of a diversion program. So we just can't consistently grow massive crops. For some farmers that with a smaller acreage, that could be, that can only be a couple of pounds, but for us, it has the potential to put 1,000,000 pounds of cherries on the ground, which is devastating. Which would be devastating. But the government also comes in and buys a lot of fruit. The government bids, so that also helps us. Little give, little take. Little give, little take. But that's going to be it, guys. We're rolling up on an hour and a half of the live stream. If you've been here for a majority of it, 5, 10, 15 minutes, and you want to learn more about fruit farming, please consider subscribing. It's free. Watch all the other content. We have all kinds of long-form content, all different topics. We have bees. We have apples. We have cherries. We have a nursery. We have all kinds of stuff on here. So go ahead, check it out, and we'll catch you guys next time on a live stream, or we'll see you in the next video. Guys, have a good one.